Welcome to Ben and Gary's.
Here's Scoop.
And today we have the amazing Andrea Malcom from Total Lending Concepts.
Yes, good job.
Yay! Welcome to our show. We're
Thank
so
you.
glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit of your story.
So I've been in mortgages about 5 years.
Okay.
Got started because I was trying to retire from the car business, as we've talked about.
Yes.
Car business is exhausting, so
Yes.
I thought, hey, I'm going to take a less stress job, and then yet here we are. So,
Right.
Yeah, I've been doing mortgages about that long. Love it. Doesn't feel like work. It's just great to be able to be a part of, something great. So.
And you just started this new position, correct?
I did, yes. So I was just hired on to be the branch manager for Joplin.
Okay.
And so they have had an office in Neosho for a while, wanted to expand, and so we're kind of expanding out into Joplin as our hub, and then we'll go out from there into Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas. I'm still licensed in the whole 4-state area in Florida. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is it like for somebody to become pre-qualified for a home loan with this company?
So it's a really easy process. We have an online application system. We also have a downloadable app so that they can track their progress. I just send out a link, they fill it out, it takes about 15 minutes, and then I pull everything in and take a look. One thing that's different about us than what some other people do for pre-qualification is that we actually go ahead and do the hard inquiry and pull the full credit report so
Okay.
that we know everything that could come up. A lot of lenders now are doing soft inquiries and things are getting missed, and it kind of creates issues down the road. So we do everything up front just to make sure that when I send that pre-qualification letter, we know that we're good to go, as long as nothing crazy pops up.
Right. I mean, obviously things happening, like people go out and buy $10,000 worth of furniture
Yes.
and they mess it up. But
Yes, or they finance a Rottweiler for their new house and then can't close because they are now not qualified for
So
debt
that
to
really
income.
happened
It really
recently?
happened, yes.
Oh,
and they stay
no.
living in their apartment with their Rottweiler puppy.
Oh, no.
So,
So the thing we take away from this conversation is we don't do anything with our credit while we're trying to buy a home.
correct. Or your reserves, or your bank accounts,
Okay.
because sometimes we need that money to sit in there to show ability to repay and that there's always at least 1 month's payment in there.
Okay.
So people think, oh, well, I just will go pay cash for it, and that's not a good idea either. So always talk to your lender first.
Very wise information right there. What type of programs do you guys offer?
We have all of the standard FHA, VA, RD, obviously conventional. We are going to participate in the JHAP 2 once it's launched from the city. We are also signed up with Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri to do their state grant programs. We're working on
Okay.
getting authorized in Kansas. And then we have a national grant program that we can use in all of our other states or until we get with our Oklahoma one. And so that's just a down payment assistance program. We can use it for down payment. It can apply towards closing costs. That way people aren't having to come up with as much out of pocket, or if there's not room for seller concessions and things like that, then we can use those grant programs. We also have some really great manufactured housing loan products, which is good for our area, and rates are really competitive on those, so those have been pretty successful.
Now with the manufactured programs, is it going to be a higher credit score than a typical government-based loan?
So
or-
yeah, there's a different requirement for manufactured than there is for just a stick-built purchase. So a lot of times up front, we know if they're going to do a manufactured. If we pre-qualify somebody just as a generic pre-qualification, I always let the agent know, by the way, if you switch to manufactured, I'm going to need to rerun this and we'll need to look at different things. So
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Now, one thing you mentioned in that was JHAP. Benji and I are both newer agents, so we've never gone through that.
Okay.
And I've heard people talk about it, but I don't have any clue what it is.
So JHAP actually started after the tornado to try to revitalize Joplin and get homes back in our area. And I think it was probably to prevent people from moving from Joplin, after that. So it's a down payment assistance program. There's different amounts that can be qualified for. There is a specific section that it has to be in.
Okay.
That can all be found on the city's website. They have not launched it yet, but there is a limited amount of money. And so once they launch all of those details, then we can get everything going. It was supposed to be April, now I'm hearing May. The city has asked lenders and realtors to stop calling them and asking when it's going to start. So I can't call every day and ask anymore, but it's just a different type of down payment assistance program for the Joplin area. It's going to cover a little more like into the Royal Heights area,
Okay.
and kind of up that direction for assistance there.
Perfect. So it's a down payment program.
Yeah.
Perfect. I caught JHAP, but there was something else that I was going to ask you after JHAP.
We'll be waiting.
Blanket. Yeah.
Does he always do
Benji, what do
this?
you got?
Yeah, he constantly does not know what's coming out of his mouth.
I'm old.
It's fine. You can use that as an excuse.
Yeah,
I
I'm
do.
to.
I do.
Because I'm over 40 now, so I'm allowed.
Same. Yes. Yes.
So we talked about programs.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about pre-qualification.
Mm-hmm.
Benji, what questions do you have?
J-Hap was really the only one that I had a question about, and you pretty much got it answered. So Gary had a question and just blanked.
No, I
So
felt dumb.
disappointed.
Sitting here with this sheepish look on my face.
Bad boy.
Is there anything that you can think of that you feel like would be important to share with people who are first-time home buyers or thinking about purchasing a home?
I would say definitely get with a lender, preferably me, but get with somebody and just find out what the steps are, what you qualify for. I find out every day that people come in and they're saying, I don't think I can buy a house, or I can only do this, or I can only do that, and they qualify for so much more than they thought, or they're pre-approved and they had really didn't think they would ever be able to. So it's really good to have those conversations. And then you'll also have the people that aren't quite credit ready or debt to income ready, but we can guide them and walk them through how to get to that point, give them a time frame. And that way they at least have a starting point. They're not lost in, trying to figure it out on their own. We really can be their friend and handhold and walk them through it.
So you become a networking partner,
Yeah.
basically, that, hey, this is the person who's going to teach
Yes.
me what I need to know.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that are very scary.
Yes.
So what I really heard out of that too was don't let fear stop you from
Exactly.
asking the question as
Yep.
well.
And I'm happy to do in-person meetings. I know that can be, a little bit intimidating for people. So phone calls, text messages. I have people that will apply and never talk to me up until that point. They just fill out the application link, and then they're more comfortable having that conversation afterwards. So that's okay too. Whatever we need to do to make sure that they're comfortable through the process.
Perfect. So don't be afraid of Andrea.
No.
She's here for you.
Yes.
Well, Benji, do you have any questions? Anything else?
I mean, like you guys were saying, you never know until you know. So just find out,
Yes.
because otherwise you're in the dark. You could be ready, and that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Don't
I
sell
did
yourself
not
short.
sound like-
Are you going to start running tomorrow, Forrest?
I don't
probably-
sound like Forrest Gump.
Speaking of running and exercising, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Is it appropriate or weird to do lunges in the men's bathroom at the gym?
Yes, it's a private restroom. If it's a private restroom, did Gary interview you?
No.
Who told you about
I have
that?
secret sources. I will never reveal them. But I promised I would bring it up.
Was it Marty?
No, I can't tell you.
She said she won't reveal her sources. Honor that.
It is C14 classified, Benji. Don't ask me again.
That's hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
So now we got to tell the story. So last week, Benji was talking to Stephanie and I about how he does his workouts in the gym, but there are certain exercises he's not comfortable with doing in public. So he goes to the private bathroom where he's only supposed to be getting dressed and showering at Koloff, and does his lunges and squats because he's afraid people will look at his butt.
Yeah, it's a valid argument. It's a private restroom. I do it right before I get in the shower. I'm in there anyways.
So it's just you.
Wait a
You can
second.
lock a door?
Yeah, I can lock the door.
This got a little more weird. Do you do it naked?
No.
Are there mirrors in there?
Yeah, there's mirrors.
Do you watch yourself in the mirror? Do your lunges?
I want to see I'm having the correct form.
That's what he's going with?
That's what
Really?
he's going with?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a beautiful moment, Andrea. I love it.
There's a mirror. It's not like I'm making direct eye contact with myself the entire
But
time.
are you? How do we know?
I probably am. I don't find it weird.
How uncomfortable are you right now discussing this?
No. Perfectly comfortable.
He's a liar! This is about like when he said that he was listening to Charity talk. He was zoned out. He is very uncomfortable and lying right now.
Your face is very the color of my jacket.
Pink.
Yes.
I don't find it weird. I'm just saying. It's not that weird. I do everything else in front of everyone. But when my butt's in the air, it's in the restroom.
I feel like that we're going to let this go to the public poll. We'll just take a poll on
We've
this.
already taken a public
No,
poll.
let's make one of those Twitter polls, Gary. Is it weird?
A Twitter poll, huh?
Yeah.
That opens a whole new can of worms that I'm not touching. Benji wants a Twitter poll, everybody. You've already lost the poll. I
No,
told
no,
everybody in
because
the
you went
office.
around the office. Is it weird to go to the restroom and do squats and lunges? Yes, if it's a public restroom. It is weird.
Even as a private restroom, everybody said it's somewhat weird.
It's somewhat weird, but not weird.
But aren't other people waiting on that restroom so that they can also shower and get ready and...
Yeah, but I'm doing squats.
So now
you're
not
just
only is
tying
it
it
weird,
up.
but it's rude.
Yeah.
It's rude,
Yeah.
Benji.
You're just holding up everybody's schedule.
I'm not in there that long.
Can you set a timer next time? Gary and I need to know.
It's 15 minutes for me to get dressed, take a shower, do squats and lunges. And I only do it on leg day. So it's not every day.
How often is leg day?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's
So
twice
now-
a week
yeah.
that somebody's held
Yeah.
up by you.
What I'm worried about is I have my headphones in. So I could be grunting in that restroom.
Listen to this guy. He ain't got enough fiber in his diet.
That's what worries me.
Honest to God, this is the greatest segment that we have ever had on this podcast. Thank you so very
That's
much.
what I'm here for. That's really the only reason I said
Like,
yes
you
to
cut
this.
his legs right out from under him, and he was like, "Ah."
My legs are pretty solid from those lunges
In the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
In the mirrors.
Oh, Lord. Tell us a joke, Benji.
Please.
Okay,
Besides lunge jokes.
so why is it cheaper to have a house party in a haunted house?
I don't know.
The booze are free. The booze is free.
Like, I don't think the joke is funny, but it was the booze.
Oh, okay,
The booze
okay.
is free.
This is why I said you don't have New Balances. You have to have New Balances to be able to tell this level of joke.
Yeah, it was way too much for their
No.
shoes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Try again. Ready, go.
What does a computer call its dad? Data.
You should have waited. The pause would
I
have really
should've
made that
paused.
joke.
Yeah.
You rushed it.
Okay.
Last
Third
one.
time's a
Strike
charm.
2.
I'm out. You didn't give me enough time to come up with a dad joke.
So you're saying those were the best you had?
No,
had
no.
This week.
No, this... Give me a sec.
You can't Google it.
Well, you put me on the spot.
Well, if you'd have paused on the second one and
It
gave us a
would've-
little
yeah, it
break,
would've give us some...
you had that one.
Mm-hmm.
But you overran it. You ran right over the top of the joke. Oh, here it is.
You're Googling dad jokes? You don't even come up with your own?
Oh, I do. But on the spot. I just found out I'm colorblind.
We ain't talking about you being colorblind again.
Just let me say it. I just found out I'm colorblind. The news came out of the purple.
What an idiot.
That one was painful.
That was really
It
They
was
all been
delivered
painful
well,
today.
but it was painful.
They all were trash today. All three of them.
Well, we'll forgive you this week for being off your game.
I was off
apparently.
my game.
Yeah. Don't let it happen again.
I won't.
Okay. Practice in the mirror while you're doing
I
the
will.
lunges.
In the restroom. Now they're going to be hearing me grunting and doing dad jokes in the restroom.
Whose shoes are blue?
Is that a joke?
I was just like saying something to impersonate
I don't
you
have
doing-
blue shoes.
But that's the way you sound when you're doing squats?
How do you know?
Because
I'm
that's the only
you
thing
want
you
to
didn't
know
argue
how I
about.
sound because I'm in a private restroom.
But that was the only part you didn't argue about. You didn't care about the fact that I was making fun of your voice. You just said, I don't have blue shoes. So that means the rest of it was true.
My voice isn't that deep.
You're right, sister.
My voice isn't that high pitched.
Well, we could argue for all day because we do. But this has been Ben and Gary's.
Here's a scoop.
Have an amazing day, everybody.